Hello, this is Jack Sperner, the designer of Dungeons of Infinity, and today we're going to look at exploring the dungeon, laying out dungeon tiles, and how the threat meter works. So the first thing you do, determine how many people are playing. And I'm just going to have one. So see the one there, and there's two heroes there, and there's three, the markers there, and where's four? There's four there and five there. So that determines where you place the little marker. So we're going to have just one hero in the dungeon. So I set it on 12. And how this works is you run or discover a new dungeon tile. The little one there says you decrement the cube by 1. When you begin combat, you decrement it by 2. Now it's only when you begin combat. Combat can last 5 rounds, but you only decrement it once. And then this says, this X for the Lord event on a hero card, this says that if you have to draw a Lord event card on a hero ability, then X is the number of Lord event cards you were supposed to draw, in which case then you decrement it that many. So if you had to, like when Akachi opens a treasure chest, he is supposed to draw 2 Lord event cards. So let's say you're playing the game and Akachi opens the treasure chest, you would decrement this by 2 because he was supposed to draw 2 Lord event cards. So that's how the threat meter works. So let's go ahead and put the marker on 1. And speaking of Akachi, I'm going to use Akachi here. So we're going to put him in the starter tile. And this is where the merchant is. We've got our standard room content chart. We've got a stack of dungeon tiles. So Akachi is going to go ahead and move. Now he has 3 action points, and when I do a playthrough, I will put all these videos together and it'll all fit together in how the game works, but I'm trying to make these brief and just informative. So Akachi is going to go north. Now you cannot go south at any time of this place on the starter tile. So that way the dungeon is always going to be built in this direction. So to move 1, Akachi turns a tile, and we got tile 25, and you look for the blue arrow. It's a very off-color blue, but you look for that blue arrow, and that is where you cross if you're going from one tile to another. So you line the blue arrow up like this, so Akachi is going to cross that and go into tile 25. Then you look on the room content chart and you see 25 is debris. So you would then put a debris token on that tile. If you want to look at this, it would take 1 action point to look at it, or you can just move on past. Akachi is going to go ahead and just move on past. He's going to leave it there. So he's going to move 1 more tile over this way. And important, you decrement the threat meter 1 because you discovered a new tile. So he's going to go ahead and go this way. There is the blue arrow. See the blue arrow? You don't line it up this way because he wouldn't cross the blue arrow. You line it up in such a way that he crosses the blue arrow. So he's going to cross over into this, and tile 3, that is a chest. So you would put a chest token on this tile, and you know there's a chest there. So Akachi's gone 1, 2, he has 1 more action point left, and you also decrement the threat meter 1 more, so it's down to 10. Now if Akachi were to open that, that ability actually takes 2 action points. He would bash the chest open and you would decrement the threat meter 2. But he's not going to do that. He's just going to go ahead and go south. Now, I recommend when playing the game, it's not real good to go into a room with only 1 action point. This is tile 15. There is the blue arrow. You don't lay it this way. You lay it this way. And so Akachi goes down into tile 15. And you will see on 14 through 19, that is a body. So you place a body here, body token. Now Akachi is out of action points. you would decrement the threat meter one more, and then that would be the end of his turn. So let's go ahead, go to his next turn, and he's going to go ahead, and you can only cross where the doorways match. Doorways here, doorways there, doorways there. You can't go west here, you can't go west here, but you can go east through both of these. So he's going to go ahead and go 1, 2, and go up one more, and he's looking for the blue arrow. So you set the blue arrow, and then he is in tile 10. Room content chart, and you see 10 is a mist. So he has to draw a mist card. He doesn't use a mist token. That's only in the campaign game. When you go into a room with mist, you immediately draw that card. So I'm going to pull this card up here and go to the bottom part. It says draw 2 times. This kind of strange notation there. It's mathematics. I have a degree in mathematics. 2 times pound H, which is pound number of heroes. So there's 1 hero in the dungeon. So you would draw 2 enemies, and they would focus on Akachi. Now, we're not going to worry about that right now, but we did start combat. So that would decrement the threat meter 2 more. So you essentially keep playing. As that combat lasts, you don't decrement it anymore. But you essentially keep playing and discovering until the threat meter goes down to here, which is 0. When it is 0, you take it out of the game, and then you start drawing Lord event cards. And we'll do that in another video. Before I close this one, that gives you a brief idea of how you explore. Now, if you wanted to go and look at one of these, it would be 1 action point to draw a, let's say you draw a body card and put this away. And you see he draws the body card, which matches. The icon matches. He draws a risk body card, and there he gets a coral orb. So that's pretty good. So let's go over some more dungeon tiles, and we'll wrap this up. This dungeon tile was a special dungeon tile. It does not have any numbers on it. And you see basically here's a symbol representing cards, and this says 1, there's a torch, which is action points. So for 1 action point, there are going to be 4 cards in here, 4 reward cards. And you can look at 1 each round. Well, you can look at them, and for 1 action point, you can take 1 of their reward cards. So those are free rewards in this. It's like a storage room. Then we have this one, which a table with a bunch of herbs and things on it. This shows a clock. That basically means a turn. So you take 1 entire turn and you heal 10 health. So that's a healing room. Then you have this room where you take 1 entire turn. Notice there's like a target here and there's some equipment. This is a training room. You take 1 entire turn and you gain 3 experience. You make 6 noise, I guess because you're grunting a lot and hitting things. And you have to draw 1 Lord event card. So if you were actually using the threat meter, every round that you did this, you would decrement the threat meter 1 more time when you're doing this. So this is a training room. Nice way to level up. Now you have 2 cards that are teleportation tiles. When both of these are out, a hero can come into this tile, 1 action point to come in, and then 1 more action point to teleport to the other tile. So those are teleport tiles. They don't have any numbers on them. So that is how you move about in the dungeon. That is how you lay out tokens, and that is how you decrement the threat meter. Thank you very much, and we'll see you around next time. And don't forget, subscribe and like.